Everybody, welcome to a Monday afternoon edition of Teaching Crypto. AZcrypto and MrFOMO. Hit that like, subscribe, bell notifications, super chats are available. Share the show. Thank you so much for your support. We greatly appreciate it. MrFOMO, I predicted over the weekend that we would have a bit of a slow Monday, and so far was correct. We went down. We rallied late Sunday into the 70s, very low 70s, but never got above 71.5. Went down to 68. Seems like we're rallying now as we speak. Haven't quite gotten back to 70, but I do expect, I know I've been saying this, but I do expect us to get over that 71 mark and then go much higher. And so right now we're sitting at 69.7, and I think that's a good spot as long as we have finally hit that retest at 68 and we're not going back down. I do expect Bitcoin to go up much higher starting on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's getting more and more likely that we don't see a major pullback between now and the halving. The halving event is driving the price at this point. We are seeing a little bit of crunches here and there, but I mean, for Bitcoin and for the crypto market, these are bumps in the road. Where in a regular market, this would be a huge. These would be huge, ugly swings. For Bitcoin, this is just part of our roller coaster,
Well, here's the thing. We did go down. We did almost get a 20% retrace. You got to remember, we went from 73 to 60, and now we are in day 17 of this retrace since we haven't gone back to 20%. Yeah, and so I think this has been it. I think we got it. Now, some perspective here for anyone that says Bitcoin has no chance of getting over 100K or something crazy like the bull run is over. I just didn't want to share. And again, history doesn't tell us everything. The last halving was May 11th, 2020. And MrFOMO, you're looking at a price of 8,700. And we know what happened, right? We went above 66K. Does that price surprise you that 4 years ago, we went from the halving date, which we haven't gotten to yet, right? From 8,000 to over 66,000. That gives you perspective. Now, obviously, the market cap is much higher, but there is a lot more money right now in the ecosystem, and there's a lot more money now that's been printed since 4 years ago. How do you react to the fact that we still might have significant runway for Bitcoin and the fact that 100K might be absolute worst case scenario here?
Yeah, I know I'm a bit of a skeptic, but I'm actually starting to think that 100K is completely within reason. I'm starting to be more of the 120 to 150K club, but that's a stretch for me. But no, it doesn't surprise me that it was at that point 4 years ago. What surprised me this time was that we reached an all-time high prior to the halving event. And so there's something going on there, and some people say it's the ETF, but others are saying that these last few blocks are being heavily fought for, heavily contested. So, and the value, I read an article earlier this week that the value of that final block is much higher than normal. And so I didn't really understand what the author was trying to say, and I couldn't find it again, but not helpful. But the point is that with everyone fighting for that last block, I don't see, and with the halving event cutting in half the rewards, I don't see much of a runway for us to go down. And I see a lot of runway to the north of us.
I still think we're going to get up to 80K in the next couple weeks. I know you got to get over 70 first. And even higher before the next retrace, right? I think there will be a retrace before 100K. What I do believe will happen is after the following retrace, sometime late summer, early fall, that's when you're going to see over 100K. And I think we'll easily clear the 100K. Now, getting to all-time high before the halving leads to the narrative that this might be a much shorter bull run, which I could see possibly. Definitely if there were some bad hands and manipulation. Let's not forget, you brought this up off the air. This is the first time someone like BlackRock has had this much Bitcoin. Now, we know what Sam Bankman-Fried did in the past. We know of the dirty players, including Steve from Voyager and everyone that was not transparent about everything that happened. Then let us not forget Celsius and all those dirty players as well. We know what they did, right? We know that the miners conspired at times to keep
To
Bitcoin.
drive the price down.
The reality is, I don't think this is going to be a forever bull cycle, a super cycle, as they used to say. It would be nice. It's just not realistic. So again, we want to say this over and over again. You want to be taking profits, right? So if you caught something, for example, just to be transparent, I caught Chainlink retrace. I got it at 16, and I was able to get rid of it. I didn't time it correctly, but not quite 20 in the 19s. Took some nice profit and got into another project that I want to talk about coming up. We know pride ourselves on being transparent, but you always want to be taking profits because you never know when the music's going to run out.
Right, and it's not necessarily when Bitcoin is running, right? Is we have Bitcoin doing this sort of sideways chop thing, up and down, up and down, up and down, but you were able to catch Chainlink. And when other people were saying that Chainlink was bearish, and so it was a good little flip there. And that's the way that this market has to be played, right? You can't just sit on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's up, oh, we're going to be taking profits. When Bitcoin's down, we're going to be DCAing back in. It doesn't work that way. You have to zero in on the projects that you think are not only interesting, but you have to zero in on the price and when you think that they're going to bottom out so that you can jump in. And it's not always going to be with Bitcoin. It's not always going to run in tandem. So you have to be watchful.
All right, I want to give our viewers something here. And we talked about real world application. This is the RIO token, RIO. And this one right now, I'm going to read about it, is a blockchain-based software that focuses on the insurance, investment, and life cycle management of digital securities. Now, I'm not going to give you all of the gory details, but you can see from the chart. That's the yearly, okay? We're up over 682%. We've gone from 10 cents to, at one point, over $3, okay? Now, this month, it was at $3.34. As of today, you can get this, and it just went up to $2.46. Nice little retrace here. Now, what I love, the market cap, MrFOMO, guess what? 16 million. The volume, listen to this, is over 20 million. When the volume is above the market cap and it's been having a good run, that's a good sign that there's a lot of interest. You want to know what the circulating supply right now? 6.6 million. Now, that's only 9% of the circulating supply. But even if all the circulating supply was available, that's still really good. Okay. So you see this one has been and we talked about real world applications. This one, again, it's not something that the average person would know about. You got to do some digging, but it's been doing extremely well. Okay. This is a Relatio network. And supposedly the people running this are, for good or bad, a bunch of Wall Street veterans, according to their information. And so, again, you're going to treat these tokens very carefully because this is not a established long-term project that we've known about, but it's been doing very, very well. And I like this token right now. I like it a lot over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Again, do your own research for entertainment purposes only. But I definitely see this thing getting back above $3. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if we made a run to $4 before the halving. So being the low market cap it was at 16 million, I decided to pick some up. It's not that difficult to get a hold of. It's not, as easy as picking up, some of the other tokens we've talked about. But give Rio a look if you do believe like we do, and again, entertainers only, that Bitcoin is about to do a nice little run and some of the other tokens are going to follow. This is one that fits the real world application narrative, and I think this one's about to do pretty well here after this retrace.
I like it a lot. I like software as a service and real world assets and tokenization. Is something that we think is going to be a huge narrative. It's already started in this bull run, and we think it's going to continue. And so to catch it at that market cap with that kind of volume is interesting. I'll be interested to see how that does over the next couple of days and see how many profits you're able to take on that one.
Well, they say the aim is making institutional quality investors accessible to everyday investors. Yeah, big talk, but guess what? People have been listening because the volume is way higher than America. We'll see. you
But
know,
similar in what it's like the democratization of stocks and assets and stuff like
absolutely.
that, right? Sort of like what we talked about with what was the one we talked about the other day? Now I forgot the
About the
real one.
gold.
Yeah. RSX. When we
Yeah,
talked about RSX, they did something similar, but just with gold, silver, and platinum. And so giving more people access is obviously a good thing.
absolutely. So look up for Rio, RIO. Take a look at it. Mr. FOMO, you got something to share really quickly.
Yeah,
Just
something that caught my eye just kind of before the show that people are talking about. It's sort of a metaverse play, AR, VR kind of a thing. It's called Digiverse. Tiny market cap at 1.71
wow.
million. Not quite sure where to get it, but making a lot of noise on social media, trending on Coin Market Cap right now. You know, metaverse and that AR, VR, that kind of stuff was sort of last bull run. But I fully expect to see that as far as gaming and that narrative. I fully expect to see that hang on, and so metaverse tokens like this will see some action. And with a market cap that low, I fully expect to see that grow quite a bit.
So daily volume on that again, 1.3 million. So again, when the volume is almost as big or larger than the market cap, that's a good indication.
And that's down 70% from yesterday.
Wow. So there's definitely some action. Again, with these tokens, there is more risk. We want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. So make sure you
Absolutely.
do your own research. But again, you should be treating these tokens like, I hate to say it, one night stand. Let's be real. Let's be brutal here. This is not something you're going to marry or even date, to be honest with you. If you
If you
get
pay yourself to leave.
if you get one of these tokens and let's say you do pick up a Rio or this one and it does well over the next couple days, you know, I would strongly consider taking profits. Again, you just don't know what the future is for these. These are not granted. You're not buying Bitcoin. You're not buying ETH. You're not buying Solana, which by the way, I want to say this might be a good time to get in the Sol trade. And I don't think I'm not going to predict the 2X like I did last time, which I was dead right. But I do think the Sol train is about to go a nice little run, right? I think Sol will get well over 250 over the next couple of weeks. I know that's not an amazing 25% gain, between 250 and 300. So again, you're not going to get rich over it, but profits are profits. We talked about having steady climbers like Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol in your portfolio. If you took some profits on Sol, it might be a good time under 200 right now to get back in.
Yeah, it seems that the Soul Train might be about to leave the station again. So I would definitely look into that if you have any dry powder left on the side and you're willing to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep it here. Share the show. Hit that like, bell notification, all of it. Like I said, Super Chat and Store is available. Anytime you share the show with anyone who's new to the space or has been in the space, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. So, Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.
See you.